Hello, my name is Tracy Allen, and I want to welcome you to Cooking with Some Friends. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. We're going to have some soup and chili for lunch today, and of course we'll have some cinnamon rolls afterwards because ever since I was a kid, that seems to go hand in hand. So let's make some of our fire roasted chili. And so I went ahead and took 5 slices of bacon and cut those up and then fried those up in my pot. And then I reserved about a tablespoon and a half, you can't see it in there, of that bacon grease. And to that, I want to add 1 bell pepper that I diced up. And I want to add about 1/4 of an onion that I diced up. And I've told you before, I like to dice the whole onion with my chopper, and then reserve it for when I need it. It makes it so much easier when it's time to need some diced onion. Okay. So I want to cook that until it's starting to get tender, and then I'm going to add some garlic, about 3 cloves, what would be equal to 3 cloves of garlic. And I just want that to get nice and aromatic. And then I'll show you what comes next. Okay, our peppers and onions and garlic are nice and aromatic. So now I want to add my hamburger, and you need about 1 pound of hamburger, unless you want it even beefier, and then you can add up to 2 pounds of hamburger. So we like ours nice and beefy, so I'm going to put a 2-pound package in. And when this is about 50% brown, I'm going to come back and show you the spice mixture that goes in this, but we want to start the browning process first. Okay, we're about 50% browned on our burger, so now I'm going to add our sugar and our spice mixture. And so in my bowl, I have 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and to that I've added a tablespoon of chili powder and a tablespoon of anchovy chili powder, 1.5 teaspoons of paprika, a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of onion powder, some salt and pepper, and just about 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne. So it won't be overly spicy, but still give you a little bit of that spice. Okay. I want to stir this in and let my hamburger brown up the rest of the way. This kind of makes sure that the spices get a little more evenly distributed on the burger. So let's let that finish browning, and then we'll add the rest of our ingredients. We're almost done. Our burger is completely browned, and it has our spices and onions and peppers and garlic and stuff in it. So it's nice and browned up and looks great, smells great. So let's add in the rest of our ingredients. I have 1 1/4 cups of beef broth. Once we get all these in, we're going to let this boil, bring it up to a boil and let it boil for 2 minutes, then drop it to a simmer, uncovered, 30 minutes at a simmer, and it's ready to go. So I have 1/4 cup of tomato paste, and I have a 7-ounce can of green chilies, and these are fire roasted, thus the name fire roasted chili. And 1 can of fire roasted diced tomatoes. And I have some Worcestershire sauce. I have about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Got something else on my back burner I'm working on too. And then I want to add my bacon back in that we fried up earlier. So again, we're going to let this come up to a boil, which won't take it long to boil. And then drop it to a simmer and let it simmer for about 30 minutes to get all those flavors to marry. Now I do also want to add some beans. True chili doesn't have beans in it if you're doing Tex-Mex. But we have 1 can of dark red kidney beans and 1 can of black beans that we're going to go ahead and add to our chili. And we're waiting for that boil, and then drop it to a simmer. Then we can eat it. And it's great served with cheese and sour cream. If you want it a little spicier, put some jalapenos over the top of it. But this one is one of those that isn't quite as spicy as what our hot chili is that we really like. So this might be a better option for those of you who don't like a lot of heat. Thanks for joining us for this session of Cooking with Some Friends. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And find us on Facebook at Cooking with Some Friends.